That is right, guys. You have tuned into your favourite podcaster's favourite podcast. As you can see, I am being joined by my bestie all the way from America. Wilfred, how are you doing, mate?
Hey, 5-1, mate. We're doing all right. We're doing all right. It's morning time in the States. Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas to you, man.
Merry Christmas to you too.
Yes.
This episode is a bit of a teaser / taster episode for our Patreon members. We're going to see how this goes. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. It's going to be a lot of fun, I think. But it's going to be a taster of what is to come on both our Patreons. We are going to collaborate even more because we seem to strike gold every time we talk with each other. So, what are we doing today, Wilfred? Would you like to explain to everyone?
Me on your show?
I'm going to let you do it.
We are taking the Avengers movie and we're gonna recast the lineup today. We're gonna switch things up with pro wrestlers. And I think you're gonna be really fascinated with some of the picks that we have today. It's gonna be very interesting how we recast the movies. Look out, because Hollywood is on our horizon, I believe.
Definitely. So I think this is quite fun, really. You struck up the original idea for sort of to benefit both our patrons, and I think it's a really good idea. It's a really cool idea because when you think about wrestlers as actors, they do play a lot of different characters, as we know already, in different films and TV shows sometimes. Having this sort of way of doing this for different TV shows, different movies, maybe we'll go into games, computer games, who knows? You know, we could leave it up to the Patreon members themselves in the future to vote and stuff like that. So the possibilities are endless. I'm looking forward to doing these episodes because they are quite a lot of fun to do anyway. We did one on your channel which came out on Christmas, the Mr. Potato Head of wrestlers, which was a lot of fun.
That was fun, man.
Yeah, that
definitely
went really well.
I was pretty thrilled with that.
Yeah, definitely same. So this is sort of we're giving this to you guys for free, seeing what you guys think of it, because we're going to get a lot more of this going on the Patreon page. So before we get into it, Wilfred, would you like to explain anything that you have coming out around about now or in the future?
Yeah, sure, man. We have holy crap, we have so many things coming up in January. We're gonna do Tokyo Dome preview show later this week after the holiday. We're gonna preview the event. We have a contest, a pick'em contest. So if you want to enter, check out my Twitter at Wilfred Watches. Of course, we have contests going on. We'll review the Tokyo Dome at the turn of the new year. We're going to talk to TK Cooper. We're going to talk to New Zealand wrestler Candy Lee. We're going to have Fights of the Round Table come back, where we're going to talk to 4 different countries at one time. Loads of stuff and other things I can't even mention yet. So, yeah, lots of coming up, man.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to catching some of them. Me, myself, I obviously have Patreon member JPQ, Jonathan Pilquist, coming on for our end of year review, our ups and downs, the top 5 ups and downs of 2018. Ooh. Also, my Wrestle Kingdom episode, which will come out the day before Wrestle Kingdom on the Thursday, is going to be with Courtney. We're going to be talking Killer Cross in New Japan and sort of previewing the Wrestle Kingdom 13 event, which I can't wait for those 2 Patreon members, as well as Mike Arent. Don't forget Mike Arent, he'll be coming on soon to carry on the discussion of NXT. Right, sweet. Wilfred, are you ready? Let's get into this.
Let's do this, man. I'm ready.
I'm going to go for my first pick first. I don't know whether you want to do it in the same order as I do or not. It's completely, we'll just roll with it. So
this is your deal, man. You tell me when to go and I'm down.
Sweet. So we are going for the original 6 Avengers from the first Avengers film. One of my all-time favorite films. When it first came out, I think I watched it 4 or 5 times. I'm a big comic book reader as it is. Avengers is one of my favorite comic books. I'm starting off with Iron Man. So my Iron Man, obviously rich, very egotistical, very arrogant. I'm going for the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada. He makes it rain money, so that is one reason. But also, he's very cocky, very confident, and I think he's a good leader as well. No matter what happens with Chaos recently, I don't think that's really his fault. But he is a good leader, and he's very powerful, and I think that is exactly what Tony Stark, Iron Man, brings to the table.
Wow. Well, I went a little different direction on this. I went with somebody who is beyond reliable. He is a GOAT in most people's eyes. He is somebody who he will not die. He will not die. And I'm gonna go with Chris Jericho. He is the Iron Man. He is never gonna die. He is the top man for me. That was actually my first easiest pick for myself.
That is a great choice.
Jericho.
Yeah.
Jericho is Iron Man. I think it actually plays out in real life pretty well. I will say that I put out a tweet yesterday. And we got some really cool responses, actually. Way better than ours, I think, on some of these. And I just want to say, Darren came out with Kenny Omega as Iron Man. PC Hasler says Jay Lethal as Iron Man, which was a very good pick, I think.
Yeah.
There were some really, really awesome picks. So follow me at NJPWUS. There's a really cool thread we'll have to share again. But I am going to go with Chris Jericho for my pick.
Good choice. My favorite from that thread that you posted was a guy called Kurt Johansson. He very intelligently put Guardians of the Galaxy Batista to be Drax. Now, I thought that is genius because they look exactly the same. They have the same build, the same face. It's almost like if you were to put The Rock as Dwayne Johnson, all the characters that Dwayne Johnson plays, the actor Dwayne Johnson, because he is a spitting image of The Rock. And that's
it's so interesting that there are doppelgangers in Hollywood. I mean, right there. It's weird. Weird life, man.
It is, yeah. Going on to my second pick now, I'm going to go for Captain America, the sort of co-leader of the Avengers with Iron Man. And I've gone for a bit of a weird pick, but I think my explanation for it justifies him being in this position. So my pick is Pete Dunne.
Wait, that doesn't work.
Why?
Explain.
Right, okay.
Well, first, he's not American, so let's...
Everyone loves Captain America. Find someone who doesn't like Captain America. Everyone loves Pete Dunne. Mm-hmm. He's a great leader. He's an overall guy. He's sort of very good at everything.
Yeah.
He's very respected. Everyone respects Pete Dunne. He's a teacher. You know, he's taught the likes of Millie McKenzie and everyone coming through. He's got his own company. Mm-hmm. He's very patriotic to the UK. Obviously, Captain America is America, but he's very patriotic. And he's also brought the UK scene with him during his success. So he's lifted the UK scene, the Brit wrestling scene with him through his success. I think Pete Dunne, he's British. He's from the UK, from England. But he is, for me, a perfect version of what Captain America is, the same sort of traits. What do you think of that one?
I think that's completely out of left field, but you make some valid points as to why. It's fascinating. I would question you on a leadership. I wonder who's actually leading the big strong boys. I would actually say Trent Seven's my leader. I don't know if I'm a biased. I'm biased towards Trent Seven because he's one of my favorites. But it's never the leader who actually leads. Sometimes, sometimes it's not the case. But that you made some valid points. I could buy that. This is the one that I had trouble with. I was thinking about this today and last night, and there's obviously some good shouts on the Twitter. Yeah. People were saying Hangman Page was a choice, which I found cool. Flip Gordon, of course, he's in the military. I thought that was very cool. And let's see,
and John Cena
Kurt Angle
are quite often picked.
Well, here's what I thought. I pulled up the old school, like the abilities. I actually looked at the abilities and tried to match it with the right person. And here's what I read. I read peak human strength, speed, agility, reflexes, hand-to-hand combatant, accelerated healing factor, so he can Hulk up, right? Field commander. So when I read these abilities, I said, I know it's kind of a popular pick, but if I was recasting this, it would be John Cena. There's no doubt about it. John Cena is, whether you like him or not, he is going to lead us. And you put a mic in his hands, he's going to boss it. He's going to have great matches with The Miz. He's going to have great matches with Kevin Owens, Elias. You know, I don't keep up with WWE as often as I should, but he always carries. He's carried that entire brand for, 12, 15 years?
Yeah.
Even through some really bad times. So John Cena is my pick. I think it's the most appropriate.
He's very patriotic as well. So
yeah.
you can't deny that is a very good pick, really.
I had to. I mean, I was trying to be clever, but I couldn't. It's just there's nobody else for me that fits that role better.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not even a WWE guy, but that's how good he is.
Yeah, very true.
You have to admit it.
Okay, going on to my next one. I'm going for Thor as my next one, who is actually my favourite Avenger. I remember just a quick tangent when I used to work at good old KFC. There was 5 Lukes who worked at KFC at the time of working there. There was only about 60 employees. To have 5 Lukes is pretty special, including my best mate, who shares 3/4 of the same name as me, Luke Roberts. My name's Luke Robinson, so it was very weird. So I couldn't even do like a Luke Rob or anything like that. So I had my own name badge, and I had Thor on it. That was how much I loved Thor.
That's cool.
My family always joke about me calling my first kid Thor, and I'm still trying to work on that. So, for an Avenger, a wrestler to be Thor, I had two guys in mind for this. One, looks-wise, I think Drew McIntyre has a very close look to Thor. The very powerful, massive guy.
Yeah.
Like he's just muscle on muscle with the long hair, the beard. Maybe a different colour, but I still sort of the stature of him. But I've gone for something a little bit different. Maybe not towards size. Still a similar look, but I've gone for Pac. And my reasons for Pac is he literally can fly. I mean, gravity ignores Pac.
Yeah,
so,
really.
He also has long hair and a beard, and he has that very mysterious look, and that is why I've gone for Pac in this. He brings the
very, very good idea. I'm really feel stupid with my next pick because that was a fantastic shout. Holy crap! How am I going to justify who I just picked? Okay, I'll just go out and say it. Well, first of all, we had some people pick, like Darren picked Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Let's see who else.
We had Kenny Omega from
Kenny Omega. Yeah, was another good one. I just want to say real quick, Rohan Unrao says Spider-Man, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, all played by, so he flipped it, all played by WWE Creative, because they all got vaporized from the snap. I thought that was a very funny comment on WWE Creative. So anyways, I'll stop avoiding my pick now. Thor is going to be Dean Ambrose.
Okay.
This is a pick for the ladies. I'm not going to lie.
Do you not like Thor?
I do like Thor, but I wasn't an as avid comic book guy as a kid. I was much more of like a G.I. Joe, and I had like tons of action figures and wrestling figures.
Yeah.
So I've been booking cards since I was a kid, man. So no, but I'm a huge Thor fan. But I think that when I think about the hammer, I think about his tremendous, like when he snaps, he's in it. You know, he fights and he has some tremendous wrestling matches. And I think about all his hardcore days with weapons, and I thought about the hammer, and I thought when you give Dean Ambrose a chair, or you let him go back into that Moxley mode, I think he's fantastic, and he's not somebody. I mean, I think he's really been held back, honestly, man.
I do.
I think if you give him I mean, not the Stone Cold gimmick altogether, but you give him that push where you just let him go loose, man. Just let him be Moxley, like a lot of people have asked for. I think there's a lot in it, and he's a big, powerful dude now. He's really bulked up. I don't know. That's the name that I thought of when I thought of Thor, because he's a really cool dude. I think he's just being held back a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. I can see your reasons for that.
Can you? Because it was a stretch.
I'm not a big Dean Ambrose fan.
You know, I feel you on that. But
especially recently.
Well, here's my thing. I think that there's this incredible potential there that they're just not tapping into.
Yeah.
And I think that he really, really, really could be that top heel. But, you know, they're messing around with it. They're not focused. They don't know what they want out of him. But I think he's got some serious potential. And hopefully they tap into it before it's too late. Yeah, right now he's not, big coat, short hair. Not really feeling it. Yeah, but I'm telling you, there's something there, man. Hopefully they reach it before he gets too old.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, I'm going for the next one, which is Hulk. This one was an easy one for me. And someone actually suggested it. I think it was Courtney who suggested it.
Okay.
For me, it's Brian Cage all day long. That guy is an absolute beast. He's got muscles everywhere. He's an absolute monster. I think Brian Cage is the perfect Hulk for me.
Well, I think that's a fantastic shout. I think that's almost too obvious for me. So this is where I kind of went off the radar here. And when I remember watching movies with the Hulk or cartoons with the Hulk in it, when he snapped, he was unstoppable and terrifying. Like he made himself bigger than he actually is physically. And he was a murdering machine, just like my pick, Minoru Suzuki, is my Hulk.
That's left field, but I like that.
When he snaps, when he goes into fight mode, look the F out, man. Because you do not want to piss off Suzuki because Hulk comes out. So that's my pick for Hulk, Suzuki.
That's a good shout. I would not have thought of that, but I like your reason for it. That definitely matches the Hulk character. Is there a Black Widow that can calm Minoru Suzuki down?
Absolutely. You want to hear it? You want to hear it?
I want to hear it.
All right. So when I think about the Black Widow, I looked it up. I'm looking at the historical. I'm not thinking about Scarlett Johansson. I'm thinking about the historical. Expert tactician. Okay. She's slowed aging. She's ageless. My pick just had a baby and she looks better than ever. Maria Kanellis.
Oh,
dude,
she's got the hair.
She's got the hair. She will distract anybody. AJ Styles is a grown man, married family, but back in New Japan, his eyes would go into the direction of Maria. We all seen the GIF and the pictures in the video of Carl Anderson. Oh, he could not focus on wrestling when she was around. So I feel pretty confident that if you put Maria Kanellis right in front of Suzuki when he's going murder mode, I think there's a slim chance that he may rethink, murdering the young boys there.
Yeah.
So Maria Kanellis is my pick for Black Widow.
I like that shout. Good shout. I'll go with my Black Widow pick now then. First of all, I thought of Mickie James, mainly for the same sort of reasons as you.
Yeah.
The same colour hair, ageless, she's been around for a while.
She is beautiful.
I had someone else in mind who I thought, actually, I really like her and I expect big things from her, and that's Tessa Blanchard.
Ooh,
I'm a big Tessa Blanchard fan. I think she's got that sort of sexy, serious, sort of dangerous look.
Oh, hell yeah.
Which Black Widow has. Her wrestling style is very precise, and I know it sounds a bit stupid, but she comes across as to be a very good spy. And Tessa Blanchard. So I'm going for Tessa Blanchard as my Black Widow.
I'm just imagining Tess being a spy, like picking up stuff from Ricochet in real life and taking it back to TNA Impact. Well, they are kind of TNA having to go to Pursuit Channel, but that's another thing altogether. Yeah. That's a good shout. I like that a lot.
I like a good Tessa Blanchard.
She is not somebody I'd want to mess with, but definitely somebody I'd want to mess with, if you hear what I'm saying.
Exactly. So. Who do we have in the comments who said that? We had Black Widow was Naomi from Darren. We also had... Everyone always forgets about... Oh, someone actually said Tessa Blanchard. PC Hassler also said Tessa Blanchard. And we also have Becky as well. Becky Lynch being...
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
Now, before we go to the last person real quick, let me take the platform real quick.
You carry on.
We had some other picks that were not in the original 6, right?
Yep.
So let's throw some out. Courtney, of course. Killer Cross Mark, of course. There's nothing wrong with that, Courtney. Killer Cross is Drax. We also had Darren, of course... And I got to shout out his Twitter because he's a very cool dude. At DEJ KIRKBY Dej Kirkby. He says, let's see some other picks. Vision, Dean Malenko, brilliant.
Good shot.
Brilliant idea. Ant-Man, which I really kind of popped for, was Marco's stunt, which was very funny because he definitely can do... I'm not really a big fan of Marco's Stan. I don't really get it just yet, but he's growing on me, and he can do stuff that's way beyond his physical abilities. Falcon as ACH.
I like that one.
We are going to come to Hawkeye shortly. Darren says PCO, which is a fantastic idea. I love that. We also saw War Machine as Pentagon Jr., Vision as Jonathan Gresham, which is a really good idea from PC Hasler. Very, very cool picks, man. Some Twitter, thank you, Twitter, for jumping on board with this fun idea because you guys really did well. View from the Top Rope podcast mentioned Thor as Rusev, Spider-Man as Ricochet. That's hard to go against there. Scarlet Witch is Mandy Leon. Very cool. But we have one left, right? And one of the last 6, the original. And I think you're going to be interested to see what I have to say. But I want to hear what you picked first for Hawkeye.
Okay, so I changed my mind with Hawkeye, sort of last minute.
Okay.
Last minute, Luke. I originally had...
Last minute, Luke.
That's what they always call me. You know me.
Okay.
So originally I had Aleister Black, and that was just because of the precise kicks and stuff like that.
Absolutely, dude.
But I changed my mind because Aleister Black's personality is not exactly like Hawkeye's in a way. Hawkeye can be very quick-witted and stuff like that, and have a comedy aspect as well as being very stealthy and very precise. So I've gone for Randy Orton because not a lot of people see the comedy side of it, but I think recently we've seen him dance with New Day. We've seen him do stuff like that. So he does have a comedy bone in him. He can be very partial for that. But ultimately, it's Randy Orton's stealth that wins this for me because Hawkeye is the stealth guy. And obviously, that RKO can come out of nowhere. We all know
really
that.
Can.
We've seen it. He reversed a curb stomp, for Christ's sake, into an RKO, which was beautiful. So, and I also think as well, one thing which really tipped the hat for me for Hawkeye and Randy Orton is Hawkeye's a bit of an underappreciated Avenger. And I think we've seen that in the movies as well. He's going to be in the 4th one we've seen in the trailer, and he wasn't in the 3rd one, which people missed him. And people were asking for Hawkeye, which shows that he is a bit underappreciated. And I think Randy Orton, when his time's up and he finally does retire, people will realise how much Randy Orton has done for WWE and wrestling in general and actually miss him. Because we take him for granted. I certainly do. And I think he's really underappreciated. And that is why I've gone for Randy Orton as Hawkeye.
I think you make some really good points about his longevity. and especially his accomplishments that he's had. And you got to remember, let's take into consideration. I am not the biggest fan of Randy Orton because he's really just seems like a prick outside of wrestling. Not really the best guy at times, especially when he was younger. But look at the other people that we've idolized as who haven't really been great outside the ring. And when you kind of compare people like Randy Orton with people who, Warrior was somebody who was not liked by many people outside the ring.
Yeah, or inside.
Hulk Hogan right now, really in the past 5 to 10 years, a lot of dumb crap that he said that's really stupid and rude. But we still idolized him as a wrestler. Vince McMahon, currently, very, very big claims that he is, who said it? He was a racist. It was a female talent.
Yeah.
Recently came out and said that. So there's a lot of people. And when you compare it with Randy Orton, I don't think it's that bad, actually. I think he's actually not as bad as some of these other guys have been outside the ring. But the more that I get older, the more I realize that he's actually been a huge part. And his legacy is something we should cherish. But talking about a master marksman, expert tactician, somebody who can use trick arrows in a verbal sense of it, and that's somebody who likes to peek around the corner, peek out of the curtain at a PWG event, and he sees the next guy. He sees the people that everybody's clamoring for. And he writes it down, and he says a word in his ear and says, "Hey, come over to Orlando." And that guy, for me, my Hawkeye, is William Regal.
Interesting.
He sees the talent. He knows how to attack with precision. He's got the scouting down for NXT. So William Regal is my Hawkeye. It's a different concept, I know, but there's too many good marksman wrestlers. You say Undertaker, Aleister Black, Randy Orton, of course. But in a different perspective, William Regal can spot a talent. And he knows how to put them in the WWE universe and make it work. Yeah. Because there's a lot of people that could take an indie talent, PWG talent, somebody from Ring of Honor or something, and they don't know how to speak WWE. William Regal does. Yeah. And I think he's a great bridge between the two. So for that reason, William Regal.
I like it, man.
You're never going to get an expected answer from Wilfred Watches. You're going to get some weird answers. So, yeah.
You gave us a Killer Kelly and a Mr. Potato Head. Spoiler alert for the Mr. Potato Head episode. But that was very
killer
out of the way. But I liked it. I like the way you put it across. So, that was our Avengers. What do you think of Wilfred? Did you enjoy that?
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I cannot wait to hear what Josh and Stu royally rumbled, Darren. I can't wait to see what these folks think about our interesting picks. And I can't wait to listen back to it, man, on the Patreon.
So yes, like we said, this is going to be a free episode for everyone to check out on the podcast and on the Patreon as a teaser, as a taster, so that if you enjoy this type of content, it's a lot more fun, a lot less into the wrestling politics or anything like that. This is a lot more fun, a lot more chilled out. If you enjoy this sort of stuff, we're going to be bringing this sort of episode to you every month on each other's Patreon pages for the tiers at which you can see on the Patreons. Wilfred, where can everyone find you, buddy?
At Wilfred Watches, WilfredWatches.com, NJPWUS on Twitter, Wilfred Watches on Instagram. My DMs are always open, so if you guys have suggestions for shows or what you want to see more of between us or my show or Lukey's show, please DM us. Let us know what's up. Yeah, slide in, man. I've been really Fortunate with some really cool people in my DMs, lots of wrestlers, lots of personalities, lots of people talking. So come in, let's chat. And if you want to start a podcast, you want to get out there like a lot of folks have taken, like Graps and that. Darren and Mike are wanting to get into the game. I know some other people I don't want to name yet. So if you have problems with like setting that up or you need some basics, holler at me. Happy to help.
Definitely. As am I. What about your Patreon page? Where can we find your Patreon page to pledge to this episode?
So if you want to jump on, we have patreon.com/Wilfred Watches. We've got $2 tier, which you get a sticker set, and I'll ship that everywhere globally. I'm not going to run through all the tiers here, but we got lots of bonus stuff. We got hats, shirts, be part of the show with me. Lots of really cool things. So check it out, patreon.com/Wilfred Watches, if you want to support a little extra and get everything a little quicker than everybody else does.
Definitely. And I am on Patreon at patreon.com/Omega Luke, where you'll be able to find this episode as the free episode, as well as plenty more in the future that we will be getting. And join me on the podcast as well, just like Courtney and Jonathan Pilquist are doing in the very near future. Wilfred, thank you very much for joining me again, buddy. I hope you have an amazing Christmas, and I cannot wait to do another episode of this.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, bro.
Goodbye, guys, and good night. Bang.